I have decided here today to announce my candidacy for the United States Senate for that seat temporarily being held by Dianne Feinstein of San Francisco. I used to fear things. I used to fear flying. I used to fear rejection. I used to fear losing all my resources, my money. It was after I lost my political race for the Senate in the state of California that I had to readjust my thinking about everything. Being in Congress has the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good are the people you come in contact with, from your constituency to other people who walk in the door. Many of them who need something from you and you feel good about being able to help them. The bad is the crassness of the place. You can't show emotion in terms of touching someone, giving them a hug, saying, I love you as a person. You can't show any of that.
There was a group.
In 1998, the president of USC asked me to teach one of his classes called The Art and Adventure of Leadership, which I did. At the end of that class, one of the students came up to me and asked if he could have lunch. And at lunch, he said he had a script that he wanted me to read and would I be willing to produce it. Well, I had never produced a script in my life. In fact, I can't even tell you I'd ever read a script. I decided after reading it that it brought a tear to my eye. Sure, I would be his executive producer. I got into the film business. The most important thing for me that I value is truth and honesty. Unless the script really moves me in one way or another, it has to be something that affects me emotionally. If it doesn't do that, then I'm not interested in it. Grassroots says, here's a man, Grant, who wants to bring a monorail to the city of Seattle, and he really believed in it. And because he did believe in it, the voters could feel that message. Well, when I ran for the Senate, my passion was to help the people, not the politicians. And those sound like words that anybody can use, but I really felt it. I came from 35 points behind and only lost by, I think it was about 1.9%. Well, I was pleasantly surprised when Stephen said he would like me to play a role in the movie. I had no idea that I would be a Democrat. I took that role so seriously that I read the book that Stephen recommended, Meisner on Acting, and it made a huge difference. It completely changed my view of what I was supposed to do when I went in. In that book, Meisner talks about being truthful and also getting out of your own head and into what's happening with the other person you're on stage with. Well, I would say the same thing is true about life. I would say the same thing is true about friendship or about a relationship with someone, whether it's in marriage or a love affair. For most of my life, actually until I was 27, I thought I was a straight male. That was it. I had no interest in same-sex ever in my life. And then at 27, something happened. A good friend of mine and I got together. That was a discovery to me that I was bisexual. Well, back then, you couldn't talk to anybody about it. There were no TV shows, there were no books you could read about it. You certainly didn't mention it to your friends or your parents. So for most of my life, until I was about 50, it was something that I didn't discuss. The joy of life is being comfortable with who you are, being truthful, and having gotten comfortable with who I was and having come out as a bisexual person, I decided, what about all the other people that are out there that are struggling like I did? What I wanted to do is let everybody tell the truth about themselves. So I worked on the film For the Bible Tells Me So, which is about the Bible and religion and homosexuality. It gives a very different viewpoint than many people have heard in the past. The film was showing in Houston, Texas, my hometown. So I walked into the auditorium where they were playing For the Bible Tells Me So. And I could see there was one person in the whole auditorium, one. And I heard that person crying. And I said, we've done something good here. Today, I can't think of anything I fear anymore, and part of it comes from my ex-wife, Ariana. She feared very little, and I have a little plaque she put on my desk, and I've kept it since our marriage. It says, ships in port are safe, but that's not what ships were built for.